the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
14 overall. So, need to improve, but not too bad. Still a few games over 500. So we're feeling good. But then overall, I'm sitting at 23-10, a game up on you. Overall, you're at 22-11. And Zeus with his home dogs of the week at 4-1 so far this season. So Zeus is winning the people some money.
There you go. Matt Green, where are we going first this week?
We are going to go to where College Game Day is going to be this week, and I'm jacked for this one. Ohio State, Notre Dame. Fighting Irish are a 3.5-point home dog in this one. How do you see this one going, sir?
Man, this is a big test. I can't wait. This is my favorite game of the day. I went back and forth of like, is this my favorite or is it Clemson, Florida State? Because I think we're going to learn so much about these four teams on Saturday, and I'm glad it's not too early where there's going to be some rest there. No, this is a month into the season. This is kind of who you are and who you're going to be the rest of the way here. Once you get to this, we're closing in on the middle point here of the college football regular season, so you got to have your act together. It's not a neutral site, which is great. I am very excited because it feels like they don't play very often. It feels like Notre Dame, Michigan happens a lot. Notre Dame obviously playing the ACC circuit, and then they get USC, which will be another big one in a couple weeks here for Notre Dame. But Notre Dame is just quietly under the radar. They've played one more game than everybody to this point, so their stats are a little bit inflated. Like they lead college football in touchdown passes to this point with 15, and they're really good in a lot of different ways. This is the most complete Notre Dame team I've seen in a really long time. I think this is a likable team. I've never seen this like universal respect from Notre Dame, from college football analysts, fans. And if like you talk with an SEC fan about Notre Dame right now, I think most are like, hey, Sam Hartman, they got a quarterback. Hey, they run the ball hard.
Sam Hartman. He's captured America.
But they like him. And I mean, look, he's already over 1,000 yards to this year. No picks, which is huge for them in this game. Like Ohio State hasn't really been tested. They broke out a little bit offensively last week, but Audric Estime is awesome. And they've got a stable of backs. But Travion Henderson on the flip side for Ohio State's finally healthy. And we've been waiting for him to be healthy and what that adds to their offense. Kyle McCord figures stuff out, and he's been named the permanent starter. So he had a big week. Arvin Harrison's healthy, and he's just... when he breaks out of his route, like you saw one play where he just runs by, like you just don't even understand how he gets by these guys. Like he makes them look like high schoolers when he's on the field with them. So I'm curious to see what that matchup looks like if Notre Dame's going to be able to limit Marvin Harrison, who is just the best receiver on the planet and is probably the best player in this game when he steps in the field here. So what does that mean? But Estime has over 500 yards, 5 TDs at this point. He's just a horse, man, and he's been awesome. I'm curious to how this front, because Ohio State's front seven has been really good to this point. They have a lot of talent on the edge that I am curious how Sam Hartman's going to deal with that. But also Notre Dame's got good tackles and a good offensive line. Are they going to be able to hold up against this talented 5-star laden Ohio State defensive line? That's a matchup that I'm wanting to see and how that goes. Notre Dame, first in passing first downs, Matt Green. So they have thrown the most first down passes of anyone in college football at this point. They're efficient through the air. They're third in running. They're second in 30-plus yard plays behind University of Washington. All it took was Tommy Rees exiting the building as offensive coordinator for this Notre Dame offense to come together in a multitude of ways. But when you go through the stats and you go through what they've done to this point in the year, you're just like, damn, Notre Dame is just efficient and clean and good all across the board. And then you look on the other side and you're like, oh, Kyle McCord, what? He has the highest QBR in the Big Ten at 87.2? Okay. And then you think about the talent and you think about the firepower and you're like, 3.5 is right, because I think this is a coin flip. And I think this is going to be down to the wire. I think it's going to be similar to Georgia and Notre Dame and those classic battles. And that's what I'm hoping for, is this comes down to the final possession. But similar to Georgia in South Bend, Matt Green, I think Ohio State pulls it out. Maybe it's Marvin Harrison has the game-winning catch in the back of the end zone or something here. I think Notre Dame gives it their all.
One-handed Terry Godwin tribute, maybe?
Maybe. I could see it. I'm going to bet on Ohio State here, and I think they ultimately win a high-scoring affair. I think this is going to be a lot more back and forth than folks think, and I'm going to say Ohio State 38, Notre Dame 30. Notre Dame 34. I'm going to say Ohio State covers.
All right. Put it on the board. See, when I look at this game, it feels like these two teams switched identities from a year ago. Like Ohio State feels like the team that's just kind of basic offensively, but playing really good defense. Like Notre Dame is playing really good defense as well. I think these are like two of the top 4 defenses in the country so far in the country through the first 3 games. But I look at this Notre Dame team and it is Sam Hartman. Like while America does love him, like we could do a little less with the rib necklace, and we don't need any more of the rib necklace. We can just forget about that. But I think Sam Hartman is just he adds a new dimension. Like Kellen Mond not Kellen Mond. What am I saying? Ian Book. I guess I don't know. That's a Freudian slip. Similar type players. Ian Book gave you those glimpses sometimes of like being that dynamic quarterback that Notre Dame needed, but he was a lot of it was, his athleticism and not necessarily just how great of an arm he had. And I think Sam Hartman just adds an element to Notre Dame that we really haven't seen. And it doesn't look like they're not doing what they've always done too. It's like sometimes a team finally gets the good offense and then now the defense has given up points or something. Which can happen, but it feels like they're still solid defensively. They're solid at the lines of scrimmage. Back. So I think this isn't Kyle McCord's first road start. He did start Indiana, and that's probably his worst start to this point, and the only like real competition they've faced to this point as well. I mean, Western Kentucky's like a good G5 school, but let's be serious. So I think I look at this game and I've confirmed with Zeus. This is home dog of the week right here, sir. Notre Dame Fighting Irish getting it done. This is going to be a big time win. Marcus Freeman against his alma mater. Give me the Fighting Irish. Because one thing that will not be like the 2017 Georgia game is the Ohio State fans are not going to be taking over this stadium. Like Notre Dame has taken lengths to make sure that never happens again. That was like the most embarrassing thing in the history of Notre Dame football. They changed their ticket policy, I think, a couple years ago, like more digital tickets and that sort of thing. So Ohio State's not going to take over. It's not going to be a home game like it was for Georgia back in 2017. And I think this is the win that Marcus Freeman needed. So give me Notre Dame to win this one outright.
Okay. We disagree right out of the gate here, Matt Green. Where are we going next?
Right out of the gate, sir. And we will go to another home dog. This one I'm also excited about. Florida State at Clemson. Clemson is a 1.5 point home dog, which is surprising. An unranked team facing the number 2, number 3 team in the country. And they're only a 1.5 point dog in this one. How do you see this game going?
Oh man, this one I went back and forth on, probably more than any other game this week. Clemson's 4th in rushing first downs. Will Shipley's quietly been solid. They've rebounded pretty well. Like there was some silliness in the Charleston Southern game, and if you look at that box score, it's pretty funny. Like I love Shutdown Fullcast. Shout out to those good folks. They had a hilarious rundown of just if you didn't watch the game in the box scores, and it's just really funny how that was a competitive contest between Clemson and Charleston Southern for a little bit of time. Matt Green, but Clemson's won 7 straight in this series. This is something I can't shake. So Clemson's really dominated, and that's why I've been dubious before the year and picking Clemson to win the ACC again. When people are jumping on Florida State, is like, okay, can they beat?